fostering a culture of continuous innovation. To truly master wealth creation and transcend into the ultra high net worth bracket, merely accumulating assets is insufficient. Sustained growth demands a relentless commitment to innovation. The financial landscape is a dynamic, ever shifting terrain, where yesterday's groundbreaking solution can quickly become today's outdated relic. Companies and individuals who rest on their laurels, believing their current success guarantees future prosperity, often find themselves outmaneuvered by more agile competitors. Cultivating a deep-seated culture of continuous innovation is not merely a competitive advantage. It is the fundamental bedrock upon which generational wealth is built and protected. This isn't about chasing every fleeting trend, but rather embedding a systematic approach to evolution within your organizational DNA. It's about anticipating shifts, creating new value, and consistently redefining what's possible within your domain. Without this proactive stance, even the most formidable empires can begin to erode from within, losing their edge in an increasingly competitive global market. At the heart of any truly innovative enterprise lies a leadership team that champions curiosity and embraces change as a constant. Leaders must explicitly articulate innovation as a core value, demonstrating through their actions that new ideas are not just welcomed, but actively sought out and celebrated. This means moving beyond lip service and genuinely investing time, resources, and personal energy into fostering an environment where experimentation is encouraged, not just tolerated. Your team needs to see you, the leader, taking calculated risks, questioning established norms, and openly discussing lessons learned from attempts that didn't pan out. Such visible commitment signals to everyone that innovation isn't a department-specific task, but a collective responsibility woven into the very fabric of daily operations. When the top leads by example, the entire organization is inspired to follow suit, creating a powerful ripple effect. A thriving culture of innovation hinges on empowering every individual within your organization to contribute their unique insights without fear of reprisal. Creating psychological safety is paramount, ensuring that team members feel secure enough to voice unconventional ideas, challenge existing processes, and even admit when an experiment has failed. This supportive atmosphere encourages a free flow of thought, where the best ideas can emerge from unexpected corners rather than being confined to a select few. When people know their contributions are valued, regardless of immediate outcome, they become more engaged, more creative, and more willing to push boundaries. It's about building trust and reinforcing the message that thoughtful attempts, even those that don't immediately succeed, are crucial steps on the path to breakthrough. Innovation doesn't equate to unbridled chaos. Rather, it thrives within a framework of structured experimentation and disciplined execution. This involves establishing clear processes for ideation, hypothesis testing, rapid prototyping, and iterative development, ensuring every new concept is rigorously examined. Encourage small, controlled experiments that allow for quick learning cycles, minimizing the resources committed before validating an idea's potential and preventing large-scale failures. Define specific, measurable metrics for success and failure for each experiment, ensuring that outcomes can be objectively evaluated and actionable insights extracted for future iterations. This methodical approach transforms abstract concepts into tangible, actionable projects, allowing your organization to pivot quickly based on real-world data rather than relying solely on intuition or long, drawn-out development cycles. By embracing this systematic approach, you create a repeatable engine for growth, turning creative sparks into antifiable progress. In an innovative culture, failure is not a terminal event, but a valuable data point, a stepping stone on the path to ultimate success. Leaders must actively reframe setbacks as learning opportunities, fostering an environment where teams are encouraged to analyze what went wrong, extract critical insights, and apply those lessons to future endeavors. This requires a shift from blame to analysis, conducting thorough postmortems that focus on process improvement and knowledge sharing rather than identifying scapegoats. When individuals feel safe to admit mistakes and openly discuss challenges, the entire organization learns faster and becomes more resilient. Embracing this mindset allows your team to iterate with greater speed and confidence, ultimately accelerating the pace of true innovation. It transforms perceived losses into strategic gains, fueling continuous improvement. Serious commitment to innovation demands more than just good intentions. It requires a deliberate allocation of resources, including time, budget, and talent. Consider establishing dedicated innovation labs, cross-functional project teams, or even setting aside a percentage of employee time for exploratory projects, akin to the 20% time model popularized by some tech giants. This ensures that creative pursuits are not relegated to after-hours activities, but are integrated into the core work structure, receiving the attention and investment they deserve. Providing the necessary tools, training, and protected time signals the organization's genuine belief in the power of continuous improvement and breakthrough thinking. Without this dedicated investment, innovation often remains an aspiration rather than a tangible outcome, struggling to gain traction amidst daily operational demands. Breakthrough innovations frequently emerge at the intersection of diverse disciplines and perspectives, making cross-functional collaboration an indispensable element of an innovative culture. Actively dismantle departmental silos, creating opportunities for individuals from different teams, marketing, engineering, sales, operations, to collaborate on projects and share insights. Organize regular brainstorming sessions, innovation challenges, or hackathons that bring together varied skill sets and viewpoints. This interdisciplinary approach sparks new connections, challenges ingrained assumptions, and often leads to more holistic and creative solutions that a single department might never conceive of on its own. The friction of different ideas, when managed constructively, can generate immense creative heat, forging stronger bonds and more robust solutions across the organization. True innovation is rarely an isolated, internal exercise. It must be deeply rooted in understanding and anticipating the evolving needs of your customers and the broader market. Cultivate a relentless focus on gathering and analyzing customer feedback, employing active listening, comprehensive surveys, rigorous user testing, and insightful observational research to uncover both articulated and unarticulated desires and pain points. Go beyond simply reacting to current demands. Strive to foresee future trends, emerging challenges, and untapped opportunities, developing solutions that proactively address these before they become widespread. This deeply customer-centric approach ensures that your innovative efforts are always directed toward creating tangible value, solving real-world problems, and expanding your market footprint, rather than just developing novelties for their own sake. By staying intimately connected to your audience and their evolving landscape, you can guide your innovation efforts with precision, relevance, and ultimately greater impact. In today's rapidly evolving business world, leveraging cutting-edge technology is no longer an option but an indispensable prerequisite for sustained innovation and competitive advantage. Actively explore and adopt new tools, platforms, and methodologies that can streamline processes, enhance data analysis capabilities, and open up entirely new avenues for product or service development. This could involve integrating AI-driven insights for predictive analytics, implementing advanced automation for operational efficiency, harnessing the power of cloud computing for scalability, or utilizing sophisticated analytics to gain deeper market intelligence. Don't view technology merely as a cost center, but as a strategic enabler that can dramatically accelerate your innovation cycles, reduce time to market, and provide a significant competitive edge. Continuously invest in upgrading your technological infrastructure and fostering the digital literacy of your workforce to ensure you remain at the forefront of what's possible and unlock new frontiers of value. Beyond articulating the importance of innovation, leaders must personally embody the very behaviors they wish to see in their teams. This means being the first to question the status quo, challenging assumptions, and actively seeking out new information and perspectives. Leaders should demonstrate a willingness to learn new skills, engage in critical thinking, and openly admit when they don't have all the answers, inviting collaborative problem solving. By modeling curiosity, resilience in the face of uncertainty, and a proactive approach to change, you create a powerful example that ripples throughout the organization. Your actions speak far louder than any mission statement, solidifying innovation as an authentic and integral part of the company's identity. True leadership in this context is about being a perpetual student and a courageous explorer. Measuring the success of an innovative culture requires a nuanced approach that extends beyond traditional, short-term financial metrics. While eventual ROI is crucial, early-stage innovation often demands different indicators, such as the number of experiments conducted, the speed of iteration, employee engagement in innovation initiatives, or the generation of new intellectual property. Develop a balanced scorecard that captures both qualitative and quantitative aspects of your innovation pipeline, recognizing that some of the most transformative ideas take time to mature. Celebrate small wins and learning milestones, not just grand breakthroughs, to maintain momentum and reinforce the value of continuous effort. This broader perspective ensures that valuable nascent ideas aren't prematurely abandoned simply because they haven't yet yielded immediate profits, allowing them the space to grow. Even in the most forward-thinking organizations, resistance to change is a natural human tendency that must be proactively addressed. Some individuals may fear the unknown, worry about job security, or simply be comfortable with existing processes. Leaders must engage in transparent communication, clearly articulating the why behind innovation initiatives and demonstrating how these changes ultimately benefit everyone, including employees. Provide ample training and support to help individuals adapt to new tools and methodologies and create champions within the organization who can advocate for change at all levels. Addressing concerns with empathy and providing a clear pathway forward can transform skeptics into enthusiastic participants, fostering a more adaptable and resilient workforce. This proactive engagement builds trust and reduces friction during periods of transition. A truly innovative culture is synonymous with a learning organization, one that actively encourages continuous skill development, knowledge sharing, and a relentless pursuit of new insights. Invest in ongoing education and training programs that keep your team abreast of industry trends, emerging technologies, and best practices. Create platforms for internal knowledge exchange, such as regular seminars, internal wikis, or mentorship programs, to ensure that insights gained in one are a benefit the entire enterprise. Encourage employees to attend conferences, read widely, and engage with external experts, bringing fresh perspectives back into the organization. This commitment to perpetual learning ensures that your collective intelligence grows exponentially, fueling a steady stream of innovative ideas and maintaining a sharp competitive edge. Innovation doesn't always have to originate solely from within your organization. Strategic partnerships can serve as powerful accelerators for external innovation. Explore collaborations with startups, academic institutions, research labs, or even non-competing companies to access new technologies, diverse talent pools, and fresh perspectives. These alliances can provide a cost-effective way to experiment with novel ideas, gain market insights, and develop cutting-edge solutions without having to build every capability from scratch. Carefully vet potential partners, ensuring alignment in vision and values, to maximize the synergistic potential of these collaborative ventures. Such external engagements can significantly broaden your innovation horizons and mitigate internal resource constraints, fostering a more expansive and agile approach to growth. For innovation to truly resonate and become deeply embedded in your organizational culture, it must be inextricably linked to the company's overarching purpose and long-term vision. Help your team understand how their creative contributions, no matter how seemingly small, directly contribute to achieving the company's grand objectives and making a meaningful impact in the world. When individuals clearly see their innovative efforts as part of a larger, inspiring narrative, it ignites a deeper sense of motivation, ownership, and commitment to the collective mission. Clearly articulating this profound connection transforms innovation from a mere task or departmental function into a shared, passionate endeavor, fostering an environment where groundbreaking ideas are not just generated, but wholeheartedly pursued with conviction and enthusiasm. This alignment ensures that innovation is always purposeful, driving the organization towards its ultimate aspirations. Sustaining the momentum of an innovative culture particularly during periods of significant market success, presents its own unique and often overlooked challenge. Complacency can easily set in when things are going well, dulling the edge of urgency and critical thinking that often drives creative breakthroughs. To counteract this dangerous inertia, leaders must continuously challenge the status quo, even when market leadership seems secure, by setting ambitious new goals and encouraging what-if scenarios that push boundaries. Regularly revisit and critically adapt your innovation strategy to evolving market conditions, technological advancements, and competitive pressures, consistently communicating the vital importance of future-proofing the business. By embedding a mindset of perpetual evolution and constructive dissatisfaction, you ensure that innovation remains a vibrant, ongoing process rather than a sporadic, reactive effort, safeguarding long-term prosperity. Ultimately, fostering a culture of continuous innovation is perhaps the most potent, compounding asset an aspiring ultra-high net worth individual or organization can cultivate. It's a dynamic force that not only drives immediate growth, but also builds enduring resilience, adaptability, and a formidable competitive advantage. By systematically embedding curiosity, experimentation, learning, and collaboration into every facet of your enterprise, you create an unstoppable engine for value creation. This isn't just about launching new products. It's about building an organization that consistently reinvents itself, anticipates the future, and remains perpetually relevant in an ever-changing world. Embrace this journey and watch as your capacity for wealth creation expands exponentially, solidifying your legacy for generations to come. Adapting to market shifts and economic cycles. The landscape of wealth creation is never static. It's a dynamic, ever-shifting terrain shaped by economic cycles, technological breakthroughs, and unforeseen global events. True mastery in building a $100M legacy isn't about finding a stable niche and clinging to it, but rather about cultivating an unparalleled ability to anticipate, react, and pivot with precision. Those who achieve extraordinary financial success understand that market shifts and economic cycles are not merely obstacles to endure, but predictable rhythms offering unique opportunities for expansion and strategic repositioning. This proactive mindset transforms potential threats into catalysts for exponential growth, distinguishing the merely successful from the truly dominant. It requires a profound understanding that the only constant in the financial world is change itself, and that adaptability is the ultimate competitive advantage. Embracing this reality allows for the development of robust frameworks that thrive amidst volatility, rather than just surviving it. This foundational principle forms the bedrock upon which generational wealth is built, ensuring resilience against even the most turbulent economic headwinds. Ultimately, the ability to read the market's pulse and adjust course swiftly becomes an indispensable skill for navigating the complex journey to ultra-high net worth status. Understanding the inherent cyclical nature of economies is the first step toward effective adaptation. Economic cycles, expansion, peak, contraction, and trough, are not random occurrences, but are driven by a complex interplay of monetary policy, innovation, consumer behavior, and geopolitical factors. Savvy wealth creators don't just observe these cycles. They analyze historical data, identify leading indicators, and develop sophisticated models to forecast potential shifts before they become mainstream knowledge. This foresight allows for strategic asset allocation, timely divestitures, and opportunistic investments that capitalize on market sentiment and underlying economic fundamentals. By recognizing the telltale signs of an impending downturn or an emerging boom, one can position their capital and enterprises to either mitigate risk or exploit nascent opportunities. It's about being several steps ahead of the curve, not simply reacting to the news cycle. This deep analytical engagement translates directly into a significant advantage, enabling decisions that are both informed and profoundly impactful. Such a nuanced understanding moves beyond superficial market commentary, delving into the core mechanisms that drive economic ebb and flow. Proactive monitoring extends far beyond checking stock tickers. It involves a comprehensive surveillance of macroeconomic trends, technological advancements, and shifts in consumer demographics. The ultra-wealthy employ dedicated teams or sophisticated intelligence networks to gather and synthesize data from diverse sources, creating a holistic picture of the global economic environment. They scrutinize everything from interest rate policies and inflation data to emerging market growth and supply chain vulnerabilities. Furthermore, attention is paid to the subtle shifts in social norms and cultural values, recognizing that these often precede significant changes in consumer demand and market preferences. This constant, high-level scanning allows for the early identification of disruptive forces or nascent opportunities that might escape the notice of less vigilant investors. It's a continuous, strategic intelligence operation aimed at maintaining a superior informational edge. This relentless pursuit of foresight ensures that strategic decisions are grounded in the most current and comprehensive understanding of the forces at play. Such an approach transforms passive observation into an active tool for strategic advantage, allowing for timely adjustment, TS, and proactive planning. Developing robust scenario planning capabilities is another hallmark of those who master market adaptation. Instead of relying on a single forecast, leading wealth builders construct multiple plausible future scenarios, each with varying economic conditions and market dynamics. For each scenario, be it a prolonged recession, a period of rapid technological acceleration, or geopolitical instability, they meticulously outline potential impacts on their businesses and investments. This rigorous exercise involves stress testing existing strategies, identifying vulnerabilities, and formulating contingency plans that can be activated swiftly if a particular scenario begins to unfold. It's about asking, "What if?" and systematically preparing for every conceivable outcome, thereby reducing the element of surprise. This proactive approach minimizes reactive decision-making, which is often emotionally driven and suboptimal. By having a playbook for different futures, they can navigate uncertainty with greater confidence and strategic clarity, transforming potential chaos into manageable challenges. This foresight ensures that capital and resources are optimally allocated, regardless of the direction the economic winds may blow. True portfolio diversification, at the 100M level, transcends the simple allocation across different asset classes. It extends to diversifying business models, revenue streams, and even geographic markets. Relying too heavily on a single industry, product, or region creates undue exposure to specific market shifts or localized economic downturns. The astute wealth creator actively seeks to build a resilient ecosystem of interconnected, yet distinct, ventures and investments that can collectively weather various storms. This might involve investing in a technology startup while simultaneously holding significant real estate assets, developing a diversified private equity portfolio, or expanding business operations into multiple stable international markets. The goal is to create a lattice of wealth generation that, should one segment face headwinds, others can continue to perform, or even accelerate, providing a crucial buffer. This multifaceted approach significantly de-risks the overall wealth-building endeavor, ensuring that a setback in one area does not jeopardize the entire financial edifice. It's about constructing a financial fortress with multiple independent pillars, rather than a single, vulnerable tower. Maintaining substantial liquidity and strategic cash reserves is not merely a conservative measure. It is a powerful offensive weapon during market dislocations. When economic downturns hit, capital becomes scarce, and distressed assets or undervalued opportunities emerge for those with ready funds. The ultra-wealthy understand that having significant dry powder allows them to acquire competitors, invest in cutting-edge technologies at reduced valuations, or expand market share while others are retrenching. This ability to act decisively when others are paralyzed by fear or lack of capital is a profound advantage. Furthermore, robust liquidity provides a critical safety net, allowing businesses to weather extended periods of reduced revenue or increased operational costs without resorting to fire sales or compromising long-term strategic goals. It grants the freedom to make strategic choices, rather than being forced into reactive ones. This strategic liquidity transforms market crises into unparalleled opportunities for growth and consolidation, reinforcing the foundation for future wealth accumulation. It's about being prepared to seize the moment when the market presents its deepest discounts. Agility in business operations is paramount for adapting to rapidly evolving market conditions. Businesses within the $100M Playbook are not rigid, bureaucratic structures, but rather lean, adaptable entities designed for rapid pivoting. This means fostering an organizational culture that embraces experimentation, iterative development, and decentralized decision-making. When a market shift is identified, these companies can quickly reallocate resources, adjust product roadmaps, or even entirely reconfigure their service offerings to meet new demands or exploit emerging gaps. This might involve adopting new technological platforms, streamlining supply chains, or retraining their workforce to acquire new skill sets. The emphasis is on speed and flexibility, ensuring that the enterprise can respond to external pressures or opportunities with minimal friction. Such operational nimbleness prevents stagnation and ensures that the business remains relevant and competitive, even when the foundational industry landscape undergoes dramatic transformation. This dynamic approach ensures that the business itself becomes a living, breathing entity, capable of organic growth and evolution. Technological adoption and disruption represent both a significant threat and an immense opportunity in today's rapidly changing market. Wealth creators at the highest levels don't just observe technological trends. They actively seek to understand, invest in, and even create disruptive technologies. This involves staying abreast of advancements in AI, blockchain, biotechnology, and sustainable energy, recognizing their potential to fundamentally alter industries and consumer behavior. Rather than being disrupted, they aim to be the disruptors, leveraging new technologies to gain a competitive edge, create new markets, or significantly optimize existing operations. This proactive engagement with technology mitigates the risk of obsolescence and opens pathways to entirely new revenue streams and valuation multiples. It's about integrating innovation into the core DNA of their ventures, ensuring they are always at the forefront of progress. By embracing technological evolution, they ensure their wealth-generating engines are future-proofed against the inevitable tides of innovation. This strategic embrace of the new is a cornerstone of sustained, high-level wealth creation. A sophisticated talent and human capital strategy is indispensable for navigating market shifts. Even during economic contractions, the ultra-wealthy prioritize retaining and attracting top-tier talent, understanding that human ingenuity is the ultimate competitive differentiator. This involves creating a culture that fosters continuous learning, adaptability, and resilience among employees, ensuring the workforce can pivot alongside the business. Moreover, they actively seek out individuals with diverse skill sets and perspectives, building teams that are capable of innovative problem-solving and strategic foresight. Investing in talent development and creating compelling incentives ensures that the best minds are aligned with the organization's long-term vision, even when short-term market conditions are challenging. Losing key personnel during critical junctures can severely impair an organization's ability to adapt and capitalize on new opportunities. Therefore, a robust human capital strategy acts as a critical anchor, stabilizing the enterprise through turbulent times and empowering it to seize future growth. It's about recognizing that the greatest asset in any enterprise is the collective intelligence and adaptability of its people. Leveraging advanced data and analytics has become a non-negotiable component of adapting to market shifts and economic cycles. The days of relying solely on intuition or anecdotal evidence are long past for serious wealth builders. Instead, they implement sophisticated data infrastructure and analytical tools to extract actionable insights from vast amounts of market, operational, and customer data. This allows for predictive modeling that can anticipate shifts in consumer demand, identify emerging market segments, or forecast potential supply chain disruptions with remarkable accuracy. By transforming raw data into strategic intelligence, decision-makers can react faster and with greater precision than competitors who lack such capabilities. This data-driven approach minimizes guesswork, optimizes resource allocation, and enables a proactive stance against market volatility. It empowers a level of strategic foresight that was previously unattainable, providing a clear advantage in an increasingly complex global economy. The ability to harness and interpret data effectively is now a fundamental pillar of informed, high-stakes decision-making. Cultivating strategic partnerships and a robust professional network is another critical layer of defense and offense against market fluctuations. During economic downturns or periods of rapid change, strong alliances can provide vital support, shared resources, and new opportunities that might otherwise be inaccessible. These partnerships can range from joint ventures that mitigate risk and expand market reach to collaborative research and development efforts that accelerate innovation. Furthermore, a well-curated network of advisors, industry leaders, and fellow investors offers invaluable insights, early warnings, and diverse perspectives that can inform strategic decisions. Such relationships often open doors to proprietary deals or provide crucial intelligence before it becomes public knowledge, offering a significant competitive edge. It's about recognizing that navigating complex market shifts is rarely a solo endeavor, and that collective intelligence and mutual support can amplify individual capabilities. These alliances serve as both a safety net and a springboard, enhancing resilience and expanding the universe of potential opportunities. At the heart of sustained adaptation lies a mindset of continuous learning and evolution. The ultra-wealthy are never content with past successes. They are perpetual students of the market, constantly seeking new knowledge, challenging existing assumptions, and refining their mental models. This involves voracious reading, engaging with diverse thought leaders, attending advanced seminars, and actively seeking feedback on their strategies. They understand that what worked yesterday may not work tomorrow, and that intellectual stagnation is a direct path to obsolescence. This commitment to lifelong learning fosters an inherent flexibility in their thinking, allowing them to discard outdated paradigms and embrace new approaches without ego. It's a proactive intellectual engagement with the world, ensuring their strategic frameworks remain sharp, relevant, and capable of navigating unforeseen challenges. This relentless pursuit of knowledge and intellectual agility is not just a personal trait, but a strategic imperative for staying ahead in the relentless race for wealth creation. Identifying contrarian opportunities is a hallmark of truly exceptional market adapters. While the majority of investors retreat in fear during market downturns, the astute wealth builder sees these periods as prime hunting grounds for undervalued assets and distressed opportunities. They understand that market panics often lead to irrational selling, creating significant discrepancies between intrinsic value and market price. With substantial liquidity and a clear long-term vision, they can step in to acquire high-quality businesses, real estate, or other assets at a fraction of their true worth. This counter-cyclical approach requires immense discipline, courage, and an unwavering belief in their analytical capabilities, often going against prevailing sentiment. These strategic acquisitions, made during periods of maximal pessimism, frequently yield the most spectacular returns as markets eventually recover. It's a testament to their ability to see beyond the immediate chaos and recognize the long-term potential where others only perceive risk. This willingness to embrace contrarian thinking is a powerful lever for exponential wealth accumulation. A deep awareness of regulatory and policy landscapes is increasingly critical for effective market adaptation. Government policies, trade agreements, tax reforms, and environmental regulations can profoundly impact industries, market dynamics, and investment returns. The ultra-wealthy are not merely reactive to these changes. They often possess the foresight and resources to anticipate and sometimes even influence policy shifts. This involves engaging with policymakers, supporting think tanks, and maintaining close ties with regulatory experts to understand potential legislative directions. By staying ahead of regulatory currents, they can strategically position their businesses and investments to comply with new mandates, capitalize on incentives, or mitigate adverse impacts before they fully materialize. This proactive engagement minimizes regulatory risk and can even unlock new market opportunities created by policy changes, such as investments in renewable energy or infrastructure projects. It's about understanding the rules of the game and how they might change, then positioning oneself accordingly to thrive within or despite them. This nuanced understanding of the political and regulatory environment is an often overlooked but vital component of high-level wealth strategy. Customer-centric adaptation is non-negotiable for sustained success across economic cycles. While market shifts and economic downturns can alter purchasing power and preferences, the fundamental need to understand and serve the customer remains paramount. The most successful enterprises continuously monitor evolving customer needs, preferences, and pain points, rapidly adjusting their product and service offerings to remain relevant. This might involve resegmenting markets, developing new value propositions, or enhancing customer service to build unparalleled loyalty during challenging times. They recognize that a deep connection with their customer base provides invaluable feedback and a resilient demand foundation, even when external conditions are volatile. Failing to adapt to changing customer expectations can quickly render even a dominant market player obsolete. Therefore, maintaining an agile, responsive approach to customer engagement ensures that the core business remains robust and capable of thriving, regardless of broader economic headwinds. It's about keeping the pulse of your market and ensuring your offerings consistently resonate with those you serve. Embracing a truly global perspective is essential for navigating the interconnected world of modern market shifts. Economic cycles in one region can ripple across continents, impacting supply chains, consumer demand, and investment flows elsewhere. The $100 Playbook mandates understanding international economic indicators, geopolitical tensions, and currency fluctuations, recognizing their potential to create both risks and opportunities far from one's home market. Diversifying investments and business operations across multiple stable economies can mitigate localized downturns and provide access to new growth markets. This might involve investing in emerging economies with strong demographic trends or divesting from regions facing structural challenges. It's about seeing the world as a single, integrated marketplace, where events in one corner can have profound implications globally. This expansive viewpoint allows for a more robust and geographically diversified portfolio, reducing concentration risk and opening doors to a wider array of wealth-generating avenues. A narrow, domestic focus is a luxury the truly ambitious wealth creator cannot afford. Implementing robust risk management frameworks is not about avoiding all risk, but about intelligently identifying, assessing, and mitigating the risks that truly matter. For ultra-high net worth individuals, this extends beyond financial risk to encompass operational, reputational, technological, and strategic risks. This involves developing comprehensive methodologies for stress, testing portfolios and business models against various adverse scenarios, ensuring that potential vulnerabilities are identified before they become critical. Furthermore, it includes establishing clear protocols for crisis management, ensuring a swift and coordinated response to unforeseen events. The goal is to build a resilient financial and operational structure that can absorb shocks without derailing long-term strategic objectives. Effective risk management allows for calculated, aggressive moves when opportunities arise, because the downside is thoroughly understood and hedged. It provides the confidence to innovate and expand, knowing that a strong safety net is in place. This disciplined approach to risk is a core competency that underpins all successful wealth creation endeavors. Knowing when to strategically rebalance or even exit positions is as crucial as knowing when to enter. The ultra-wealthy understand that market cycles dictate optimal times for taking profits, divesting underperforming assets, or reallocating capital to more promising ventures. This requires a disciplined, unemotional approach to portfolio management, resisting the urge to hold on to investments out of sentiment or fear of missing out on further gains. They develop clear exit strategies for each investment based on predefined performance metrics, market conditions, or changes in strategic alignment. Similarly, they regularly review their entire portfolio and business holdings, rebalancing to maintain desired asset allocations or to capitalize on new information. This proactive rebalancing ensures that capital is always deployed in its most effective and highest returning use, rather than being tied up in stagnating or declining assets. It is a continuous process of optimization, ensuring that the wealth-generating engine remains finely tuned and maximally efficient. This strategic flexibility in capital deployment is a hallmark of sophisticated financial management. Ultimately, adapting to market shifts and economic cycles requires maintaining a clear, unwavering long-term vision amidst the constant noise of short-term volatility. While it's imperative to be agile and responsive to immediate changes, these actions must always be aligned with the overarching goal of building generational wealth. The ultra-wealthy possess an innate ability to filter out transient market fluctuations and focus on fundamental, durable trends that will shape the future. This long-term perspective prevents impulsive decisions driven by fear or greed, allowing for strategic patience when necessary and aggressive action when opportunities align with their grand vision. It's about understanding that true wealth is accumulated not through chasing every fleeting trend, but through consistent, disciplined execution of a well-conceived strategy over extended periods. This steadfast commitment to a long-range plan, combined with tactical flexibility, is the ultimate secret to navigating the complex journey to extraordinary financial mastery. It ensures that every adaptation, every pivot, serves a greater, enduring purpose. In essence, adaptation is not a reactive measure, but a core competency, a proactive philosophy embedded within every aspect of a 100M Playbook. It's about building a financial and operational architecture that is inherently resilient, agile, and perpetually forward-looking. From sophisticated data analysis and scenario planning to diversified capital allocation and a culture of continuous learning, every element works in concert to ensure sustained growth. The ability to not only withstand economic storms, but to emerge stronger and more strategically positioned is what truly separates the aspiring from the achieving. This mastery of adaptation transforms the unpredictable nature of markets into a fertile ground for unprecedented wealth creation, solidifying a legacy that endures through every conceivable economic climate. It is the ultimate testament to strategic foresight and unwavering execution, ensuring that your journey to ultra-high net worth is not just successful, but profoundly sustainable. The role of creativity in wealth creation. Creativity isn't just about painting or composing symphonies. It's a fundamental engine of economic progress, particularly for those aspiring to transcend conventional wealth accumulation. For the discerning entrepreneur or investor, creativity manifests as the acute ability to perceive patterns where others see chaos, to forge novel connections between seemingly disparate concepts, and to envision solutions that redefine and tie entire market paradigms. This isn't merely about ideation. It's about the strategic application of imaginative thought to unlock exponential value, converting abstract insights into tangible, scalable assets. True wealth creation, especially at the ultra-high net worth level, rarely stems from merely optimizing existing models. It flourishes from the audacious reimagining of what is possible. It demands an intellectual agility that allows one to pivot, innovate, and disrupt, rather than merely react to the ebb and flow of economic currents. This profound capacity to innovate, to see beyond the immediate horizon, is what separates the incrementalist from the generational wealth builder. Consider creativity not as a soft skill, but as a formidable strategic asset, arguably more potent than raw capital in the long run. Capital can be deployed, but true ingenuity crafts the very pathways for its most effective deployment, multiplying its impact far beyond mere allocation. The most enduring fortunes are seldom built by simply replicating successful formulas. They are forged in the crucible of original thought, where new business models are conceived, untapped markets are unearthed, and entrenched inefficiencies are systematically dismantled. This strategic creativity involves not only generating fresh ideas, but also possessing the foresight to identify which ideas possess the latent potential for massive scalability and market disruption. It's about understanding that the competitive advantage of tomorrow will not solely reside in operational efficiency, but increasingly in the unique intellectual property and innovative solutions that only a truly creative approach can yield. Many of the world's most significant wealth creators did not merely enter existing industries, they fundamentally reshaped them, often through a singular creative vision that challenged prevailing orthodoxies. They looked at stagnant markets and saw opportunities for radical reinvention, not just incremental improvement. Think of industries like transportation, communication, or retail, which have been repeatedly revolutionized by individuals and organizations daring enough to question the status quo. Their creativity wasn't just about a better product. It was about a completely new way of delivering value, often leveraging emergent technologies or entirely novel distribution channels. This level of disruptive creativity requires a profound understanding of underlying human needs, combined with an unyielding commitment to exploring unconventional avenues, even when initial market signals are ambiguous or outright skeptical. A hallmark of highly creative individuals in the realm of wealth creation is their remarkable ability to synthesize information from diverse fields and connect seemingly unrelated concepts into powerful new frameworks. This cross-pollination of ideas is rarely accidental. It often stems from a deliberate practice of broad intellectual curiosity and a willingness to explore beyond one's immediate domain of expertise. An insight from biology might inform a new approach to organizational structure, or a principle from art might inspire a novel marketing strategy. These unexpected linkages often form the bedrock of truly innovative solutions, providing a unique vantage point that competitors, entrenched in their own industry silos, you cannot access. It is this intellectual promiscuity, this openness to external stimuli, that fuels the most groundbreaking advancements. Creativity extends far beyond product development. It is profoundly impactful in the design of business models and the execution of investment strategies. Innovators don't just build better widgets. They craft entirely new ways for those widgets to be produced, distributed, and monetized, often leveraging network effects or subscription economies to create lasting value. In the investment arena, creative thinking allows astute players to identify asymmetric opportunities, to spot undervalued assets based on future potential rather than past performance, or to construct portfolios that are resilient to unforeseen market shifts. This requires moving beyond conventional financial metrics and developing an intuitive understanding of emerging trends, societal shifts, and technological trajectories that others might dismiss as too speculative. Cultivating this kind of strategic creativity is not an innate talent reserved for a select few. It is a discipline that can be honed and integrated into one's operational DNA. It begins with a deliberate embrace of curiosity, a willingness to ask why not, rather than just why. It requires actively seeking out diverse perspectives, engaging with ideas that challenge one's preconceptions, and creating environments, both personal and professional, that encourage experimentation over rigid adherence to established norms. This mindset understands that failure is not an endpoint, but a crucial data point, an iterative step in the process of discovery, providing invaluable lessons that refine subsequent creative endeavors. The path of creative wealth creation is inherently fraught with ambiguity and demands a higher tolerance for risk than traditional approaches. Truly novel ideas often lack historical precedents, making their potential difficult to quantify and their acceptance by the market uncertain. This necessitates a courageous mindset, one willing to venture into uncharted territory, to commit resources to initiatives that may initially appear unconventional or even quixotic. The comfort zone, while safe, rarely yields extraordinary returns. It is often on the fringes of established thinking where the most significant opportunities for exponential growth reside, waiting for those bold enough to explore them. Constraints, rather than being impediments, frequently act as powerful catalysts for creative problem-solving. When resources are limited or regulatory hurdles are substantial, conventional solutions become unfeasible, forcing an innovative approach. Many groundbreaking companies have emerged from environments of scarcity, where the necessity of doing more with less spurred ingenious design, efficient processes, and novel distribution methods. This ability to transmute obstacles into opportunities, to see a closed door as an invitation to find a new entrance, is a hallmark of the most successful wealth builders. It demonstrates a profound adaptability that transcends mere tactical adjustments. Creativity is not a one-time event or a flash of genius. It is a continuous, iterative process of observation, ideation, prototyping, and refinement. Market dynamics are perpetually shifting. Technological landscapes are constantly evolving, and consumer preferences are in a state of flux. To maintain a competitive edge and sustain wealth generation, one must embed a culture of continuous innovation, where creative solutions are not just tolerated, but actively sought and celebrated. This ongoing pursuit of novelty ensures that one's ventures remain relevant, resilient, and primed for future growth, rather than becoming static and vulnerable to disruption. While creativity might seem antithetical to rigorous data analysis, the most effective wealth creators skillfully integrate both. Data provides the empirical foundation, revealing patterns, validating hypotheses, and quantifying potential, while imagination breathes life into those insights, transforming raw numbers into innovative strategies. It's about using analytics to inform the direction of creative exploration, not to stifle it, and employing creativity to interpret data in novel ways that uncover hidden opportunities. This symbiotic relationship between logic and intuition is a powerful differentiator, allowing for both informed decision-making and visionary leaps. At its core, much of wealth-generating creativity involves a keen ability to identify unmet needs or overlooked opportunities that others have either dismissed or simply failed to perceive. This often requires a deep empathy for the customer, a willingness to listen intently to their frustrations, and the imaginative capacity to envision solutions that don't yet exist. It's about seeing beyond the obvious, recognizing the latent demand for convenience, efficiency, or entirely new experiences. The ability to spot these voids and then creatively fill them with compelling offerings is a direct pathway to market dominance and significant financial returns. For entrepreneurs and leaders, fostering creativity within their organizations is paramount. This means cultivating an environment where psychological safety allows for risk-taking without fear of punitive failure, where diverse perspectives are actively solicited and valued, and where dedicated time and resources are allocated for exploration and experimentation. It involves empowering teams to challenge assumptions, to think outside predefined boxes, and to pursue unconventional ideas, even if they deviate from initial plans. A truly innovative culture understands that the greatest breakthroughs often emerge from unexpected places, requiring a flexible and supportive ecosystem. Ultimately, the role of creativity in wealth creation boils down to the courage to be different, to chart a course that defies convention, and to trust one's own unique vision when others are content to follow established paths. This isn't just about having a novel idea. It's about the conviction to execute that idea, to persevere through skepticism, and to withstand the inevitable challenges that accompany any groundbreaking endeavor. This audacious spirit, fueled by an unwavering belief in the power of original thought, is what propels individuals and their ventures into the exclusive echelon of ultra-high net worth status, leaving an indelible mark on the economic landscape. Implementing agile strategies for business resilience. In the relentless pursuit of ultra-high net worth status, simply innovating is no longer sufficient. The capacity to adapt with speed and precision has become the ultimate differentiator. This is where the principles of agile strategies, often mistakenly confined to software development, emerge as paramount for comprehensive business resilience. Agile, at its core, represents a mindset and a set of practices designed to respond to change, rather than merely following a rigid plan. For the ambitious entrepreneur or seasoned investor aiming for a 100M playbook, integrating Agile means building an organizational metabolism that can swiftly process new information, pivot strategically, and withstand unforeseen market tremors. It's about cultivating an inherent nimbleness that transforms potential threats into opportunities for accelerated growth and sustained value creation. Embracing this adaptability is not just a tactical choice. It is a fundamental strategic imperative for anyone serious about mastering wealth creation in today's dynamic global economy. This systematic approach ensures that your ventures remain robust and responsive, safeguarding your path to significant generational wealth. Business resilience, particularly when scaling to the nine-figure mark and beyond, transcends mere survival. It is about thriving amidst perpetual flux. The economic landscape is a complex, ever-shifting tapestry woven with technological disruptions, geopolitical shifts, and evolving consumer behaviors. A static, long-term strategic plan conceived in a vacuum is increasingly a relic of a bygone era, prone to obsolescence before its full implementation. Agile strategies provide the crucial framework for dynamic navigation, enabling businesses to absorb shocks, recover rapidly, and even emerge stronger from periods of instability. This proactive stance is what separates those who merely accumulate wealth from those who build enduring financial empires capable of weathering any storm. It allows for continuous calibration against real-world conditions, minimizing downside risk while maximizing upside potential in every endeavor. True resilience, therefore, is not about avoiding challenges, but about possessing the inherent capacity to effectively surmount them. The transition to an agile enterprise fundamentally begins with a profound mindset shift, moving away from the comfort of predictable, sequential processes towards an embrace of iterative discovery and continuous learning. This means fostering a culture where experimentation is encouraged, failures are viewed as valuable data points, and rapid iteration is the norm, not the exception. Leaders must cultivate an environment that values responsiveness over rigid adherence to initial forecasts, empowering teams to make informed decisions quickly at the edge of the organization. Such a shift demands a willingness to release the illusion of perfect foresight, recognizing that the most robust strategies are those that can evolve in real time. It's about instilling a pervasive belief that the ability to change course quickly is a competitive advantage, not a sign of weakness. This foundational change in thinking underpins every successful agile implementation, paving the way for unprecedented levels of adaptability. Central to agile methodology is the concept of iterative planning and execution, a process that meticulously breaks down grand strategic visions into smaller, manageable work increments, often called sprints or iterations. Instead of committing to a multi-year blueprint, agile teams focus on delivering tangible value in short cycles, typically 2 to 4 weeks in duration. At the conclusion of each cycle, the delivered increment is reviewed, feedback is actively solicited from stakeholders, and the plan for the next iteration is adjusted based on these real-world insights and emerging market conditions. This continuous feedback loop ensures that resources are always directed towards the most impactful activities, preventing costly deviations and accelerating the path to desired outcomes. It's a pragmatic approach that prioritizes continuous learning and adaptation, ensuring that every step forward is informed by the latest available intelligence. This structured yet flexible process significantly de-risks large-scale initiatives, making them more manageable and responsive. Empowering teams and decentralizing decision-making are cornerstones of an effective agile framework, fundamentally redefining traditional hierarchical structures. Instead of decisions flowing exclusively from the top down, agile advocates for pushing authority and accountability to cross-functional teams operating at the coalface of product development or service delivery. These self-organizing units, equipped with the necessary skills and resources, are entrusted to determine the most effective ways to achieve their objectives, fostering a profound sense of ownership and accelerating execution. This distributed intelligence network not only speeds up problem solving, but also taps into the collective expertise of individuals who possess the most direct knowledge of specific challenges and opportunities. Leaders transition from being command and control figures to facilitators, removing impediments and championing their teams, thereby unlocking unparalleled levels of innovation and responsiveness across the NTO enterprise. This shift cultivates a more dynamic and engaged workforce, directly contributing to organizational resilience. Agile strategies inherently place a premium on customer centricity and the continuous delivery of value, fundamentally reorienting business operations around the needs and evolving desires of the end user. Rather than developing a product or service in isolation for months or years, agile methodologies prioritize frequent interaction with customers, delivering minimal viable products, MVPs, and gathering rapid feedback. This iterative engagement ensures that every subsequent development cycle refines the offering to more precisely meet market demands, preventing the costly creation of solutions that no one truly wants or needs. By consistently providing tangible value and demonstrating responsiveness to feedback, businesses can cultivate deeper customer loyalty, strengthen their market position, and differentiate themselves from less adaptive competitors. This relentless focus on delivering what truly matters to the customer becomes a powerful engine for sustained revenue growth and long-term competitive advantage. It ensures that every investment of time and capital is aligned with generating actual, perceived value. The effectiveness of agile adaptation is profoundly amplified by a robust commitment to data-driven decision-making, transforming intuition into informed action. In an agile environment, continuous monitoring and analysis of key performance indicators, market trends, and user behavior are not afterthoughts but integral components of every iteration. Real-time data provides the critical intelligence needed to assess the impact of recent changes, identify emerging patterns, and validate or invalidate hypotheses about customer needs and market dynamics. This empirical approach allows teams to pivot with confidence, making adjustments based on objective evidence rather than subjective conjecture or outdated assumptions. Integrating sophisticated analytics tools and fostering a culture of data literacy throughout the organization ensures that every strategic adjustment is grounded in current realities. Such a rigorous commitment to data not only refines the product or service, but also sharpens the organization's overall strategic acumen, making it truly intelligent and adaptive. Agile methodologies inherently offer a powerful mechanism for risk mitigation through their emphasis on rapid learning and early detection of potential issues. By breaking down large projects into smaller, iterative cycles, agile teams are able to identify flaws, miscalculations, or unforeseen challenges much earlier in the development process than traditional, long-cycle approaches. A small misstep in a 2-week sprint is far less costly to correct than a major error discovered after months or years of development. This allows for immediate course correction, preventing minor issues from escalating into catastrophic failures. Furthermore, the continuous feedback loops with stakeholders and customers provide early validation, ensuring that the development path remains aligned with market needs, thereby reducing the risk of building something irrelevant. Agile transforms potential failures into invaluable learning opportunities, allowing the organization to adapt and iterate towards success with minimized exposure. This proactive risk management is vital for protecting and growing significant wealth. Building an adaptive organizational structure is a crucial, often overlooked aspect of truly implementing agile strategies for business resilience. This means moving beyond the traditional, rigid departmental silos that often impede cross-functional collaboration and slow down decision-making. Instead, successful agile organizations foster a network of interconnected, multidisciplinary teams that can self-organize around specific projects or value streams. This often involves flattening hierarchies, creating more fluid reporting lines, and encouraging direct communication across different functions. The goal is to design a structure that facilitates rapid information flow and empowers teams to swarm around challenges, bringing diverse perspectives to bear on complex problems. Such a structural evolution is not merely an administrative change. It is a strategic redesign that optimizes for speed, flexibility, and continuous innovation, making the entire enterprise inherently more resilient and responsive to external pressures. It's about ensuring that the organization's architecture supports rather than hinders its agile aspirations. Scaling agile beyond isolated departments to encompass the entire enterprise is the ultimate goal for achieving holistic business resilience and unlocking its full wealth-generating potential. This involves harmonizing agile practices across various functions, from marketing and sales to operations and finance, ensuring a unified approach to iterative development and continuous improvement. It requires establishing clear strategic priorities that guide all agile teams, creating a North Star that aligns diverse efforts towards common organizational objectives. Implementing agile at scale also necessitates a shared understanding of agile principles and a common language across all teams, fostering seamless collaboration and eliminating potential bottlenecks. When an entire organization operates with this synchronized agility, it creates a powerful, self-optimizing engine capable of rapidly responding to market shifts, capitalizing on emerging opportunities, and consistently delivering superior value. This enterprise-wide transformation is what truly fortifies a business against volatility and positions it for sustained exponential growth. The role of leadership in fostering an agile culture cannot be overstated. It is the linchpin that either enables or stifles true organizational resilience. Leaders must transcend traditional command and control paradigms, evolving into coaches and facilitators who champion experimentation, psychological safety, and continuous learning. Their primary responsibility shifts to articulating a clear vision, removing organizational impediments, and empowering their teams with the autonomy and resources needed to innovate and adapt. This requires a profound trust in their people and a willingness to embrace ambiguity, leading by example in their own adaptability and openness to feedback. By modeling agile behaviors like transparency, iterative planning, and a growth mindset, leaders create a safe environment where teams feel comfortable taking calculated risks and learning from inevitable setbacks. Without this unwavering commitment and active participation from the top, agile initiatives often remain isolated experiments, failing to permeate the organizational fabric and deliver their full strategic impact. True agile transformation is, at its heart, a leadership transformation. Ultimately, implementing agile strategies is not merely a defensive maneuver to survive market volatility. It is a powerful offensive weapon that confers a significant competitive advantage and accelerates wealth creation. By enabling faster time to market, superior customer satisfaction, and more efficient resource allocation, agile businesses can outmaneuver slower, more rigid competitors. Their capacity for rapid iteration and continuous improvement allows them to seize fleeting opportunities, innovate at an accelerated pace, and consistently deliver products and services that precisely resonate with evolving market demands. This inherent dynamism translates directly into enhanced revenue streams, optimized operational costs, and a stronger, more defensible market position. In a world where speed and adaptability are paramount, the agile enterprise becomes a formidable force, not just surviving, but actively shaping its future and establishing itself as a leader in its domain. This strategic agility is a dire CT pathway to reaching and sustaining the ultra-high net worth echelon. Despite its undeniable benefits, the journey to becoming a truly agile organization is rarely without its challenges, requiring steadfast commitment and strategic navigation. One of the most significant hurdles is overcoming ingrained resistance to change, particularly from individuals accustomed to traditional, predictable operational models. Initial implementation may also feel slower as teams learn new ways of working and adjust to iterative cycles, leading to a perceived dip in immediate productivity. Furthermore, establishing clear metrics for agile success beyond simple output can be complex, necessitating a shift towards measuring outcomes like customer satisfaction, market share growth, and speed to value. Leaders must anticipate these friction points, providing robust training, consistent communication, and visible support to reinforce the long-term vision. Treating these challenges as opportunities for organizational learning rather than insurmountable obstacles is crucial for embedding agile principles deeply within the corporate DNA and ensuring a successful, sustainable transformation. Measuring the success of agile implementation extends far beyond merely tracking velocity or sprint completion rates. It requires a holistic evaluation of tangible business outcomes and strategic impact. True agile success manifests in accelerated time to market for new products, a demonstrable increase in customer satisfaction and retention, and a significant improvement in the quality and relevance of delivered solutions. It's about observing a palpable shift in organizational culture towards greater collaboration, continuous learning, and proactive problem solving across all levels. Furthermore, successful agile adoption should translate into a more efficient allocation of resources, reduced waste, and an enhanced capacity for the business to pivot effectively in response to market shifts. By focusing on these higher-level metrics, organizations can accurately gauge the strategic value generated by their agile transformation, ensuring that their efforts are indeed contributing to enhanced resilience and the overarching goal of wealth creation, rather than just process adherence. This comprehensive approach validates the investment and reinforces the ongoing commitment. The principles of agile thinking are not exclusive to business operations. They offer profound insights for dynamically managing investment portfolios and safeguarding wealth. Rather than adhering to a rigid, long-term investment strategy, an agile investor continuously monitors market signals, economic indicators, and geopolitical developments, making iterative adjustments to their portfolio. This involves regular reevaluation of asset allocations, proactive rebalancing, and a willingness to pivot away from underperforming assets or seize emerging opportunities with speed and conviction. The agile investor understands that market conditions are perpetually in flux, and a static portfolio is inherently vulnerable to unforeseen downturns or missed growth opportunities. By adopting a mindset of continuous learning, rapid response, and data-driven adaptation, investors can build a more resilient and growth-oriented portfolio, significantly enhancing their capacity to preserve and multiply wealth across diverse economic cycles. This proactive, adaptive approach is a hallmark of sophisticated wealth management. Ultimately, the sustained implementation of agile strategies for business resilience forms a crucial pillar in the grander ambition of building generational wealth and leaving an indelible legacy. A business that is inherently adaptive, customer-centric, and capable of rapid iteration is not just a transient success. It is an enduring institution designed to thrive across decades, even centuries. This continuous evolution ensures that the enterprise remains relevant, competitive, and profitable, serving as a robust engine for wealth creation that can be passed down through generations. By instilling an agile mindset, leaders are not just optimizing current operations, they are cultivating an organizational DNA that fosters continuous innovation and strategic foresight, safeguarding the future for their descendants. This commitment to perpetual resilience transcends mere financial gain, embedding a powerful mechanism for sustained impact and a lasting testament to visionary leadership. Agile is, in essence, the blueprint for a truly future-proof legacy. Staying ahead of the curve, future-proofing your wealth. In the relentless pursuit of building generational wealth, merely achieving a formidable financial position is insufficient. The true mastery lies in future-proofing that wealth against an ever-accelerating tide of change. This isn't just about safeguarding assets from obvious market downturns or economic shifts. It's about proactively anticipating and adapting to the subtle yet profound transformations that redefine industries, consumer behaviors, and global economies. The landscape of wealth creation is not static. It is a dynamic, evolving ecosystem where complacency is the most insidious threat to long-term prosperity. Therefore, cultivating a foresight-driven approach becomes paramount, shifting from reactive damage control to proactive strategic positioning. True wealth resilience demands a departure from traditional, static investment models towards a fluid, adaptive portfolio that can withstand unforeseen shocks and capitalize on emerging opportunities. This means going beyond conventional diversification across asset classes to include strategic allocations in alternative investments, such as private equity, venture capital, and even niche, uncorrelated assets that can perform independently of broader market movements. Consider the strategic deployment of capital into real assets like infrastructure or specialized real estate, which offer intrinsic value and often act as inflation hedges, providing a tangible anchor in volatile times. The goal is to construct a financial architecture robust enough to weather any storm, yet agile enough to pivot towards new frontiers of growth. The relentless march of technological innovation presents both an existential threat and an unparalleled opportunity for wealth creators. Disruptive technologies, from artificial intelligence and blockchain to advanced biotechnologies and sustainable energy solutions, are not just changing how businesses operate, they are fundamentally reshaping entire economic sectors. Future-proofing your wealth necessitates an acute awareness of these technological currents, identifying where exponential growth is most likely to occur, and strategically investing in the companies and platforms driving these transformations. This demands not just capital, but an intellectual investment in understanding the underlying mechanisms and long-term implications of these advancements. Beyond direct investment, integrating cutting-edge technology into your existing business ventures is a non-negotiable aspect of future-proofing. This involves leveraging data analytics to gain predictive insights, automating operational efficiencies, and exploring new business models enabled by digital platforms. Consider how AI can optimize supply chains, personalize customer experiences, or even generate new revenue streams through intelligent product development. The businesses that embrace and skillfully deploy these tools will not only survive but thrive, creating a competitive moat that protects their market position and enhances their intrinsic value for years to come. A critical, yet often overlooked, component of future-proofing wealth lies in understanding and adapting to macroeconomic and geopolitical shifts. Global trade wars, shifts in regulatory policies, demographic changes, and environmental considerations can have far-reaching impacts on investment, NT portfolios, and business operations. Developing a sophisticated understanding of these global forces allows for proactive adjustments, whether it's diversifying geographic exposure, hedging against currency fluctuations, or anticipating shifts in consumer demand driven by societal trends. The ability to connect seemingly disparate global events to their potential impact on your wealth is a hallmark of sophisticated financial stewardship. Cultivating a culture of continuous learning and intellectual agility within your organization and personal investment philosophy is indispensable. The world is evolving at an unprecedented pace, rendering yesterday's expertise potentially obsolete tomorrow. Encourage your teams and indeed yourself to constantly acquire new skills, explore novel concepts, and challenge established paradigms. This commitment to intellectual capital development ensures that your human resources remain at the cutting edge, capable of identifying and seizing opportunities that others might miss, thereby forming a dynamic defense against market stagnation and competitive erosion. Building a truly resilient business model involves moving beyond reliance on single revenue streams or narrow market segments. Diversifying income sources through product line extensions, geographical expansion, or the development of complementary services significantly reduces vulnerability to sector-specific downturns. Explore subscription-based models, licensing agreements, or strategic partnerships that create multiple overlapping revenue channels, each capable of supporting the enterprise even if others face headwinds. This multifaceted approach to revenue generation acts as an internal hedge, stabilizing cash flows and enhancing long-term viability. Strategic scenario planning and rigorous stress testing are not merely academic exercises. They are vital tools for anticipating potential vulnerabilities in your wealth strategy. Imagine various adverse scenarios: a sudden market crash, a disruptive competitor, a major regulatory change, and meticulously map out how your investments and businesses would perform under such conditions. This foresight allows you to identify weak points, develop contingency plans, and pre-position assets to mitigate potential losses, or even capitalize on the chaos. A prepared mind is an empowered mind, ready to navigate uncertainty with calculated confidence. The increasingly complex regulatory environment and evolving legal frameworks demand proactive engagement and sophisticated foresight. Tax laws, data privacy regulations, and industry-specific compliance requirements are constantly shifting, carrying significant implications for wealth preservation and transfer. Engaging top-tier legal and financial advisors to meticulously plan for these changes, from establishing robust trust structures to optimizing international tax strategies, is not an expense, but an essential investment. Staying ahead of regulatory curves ensures compliance while maximizing the efficiency and longevity of your financial architecture. Investing in your human capital, both within your enterprise and your personal network, is perhaps one of the most potent forms of future-proofing. Attracting, retaining, and continuously developing top talent within your organization ensures a pipeline of innovation and adaptability. Simultaneously, cultivating a diverse network of advisors, mentors, and peers who possess varied expertise and perspectives provides an invaluable external intelligence system. These relationships serve as early warning systems for emerging trends and offer collaborative solutions to complex challenges, providing a collective intellectual advantage. The growing emphasis on environmental, social, and governance (ESG) factors is no longer just a trend for conscientious investors. It is becoming a fundamental driver of long-term financial performance and risk mitigation. Companies and investment portfolios that ally Gian with sustainable practices, ethical governance, and social responsibility are increasingly seen as more resilient and attractive to a broader base of capital. Integrating ESG considerations into your investment thesis and business operations not only enhances reputation, but can unlock new markets, reduce regulatory risks, and foster long-term stakeholder value, making it a powerful tool for future-proofing. Protecting your digital assets and ensuring robust cybersecurity measures are paramount in an increasingly interconnected world. The threat of cyber attacks, data breaches, and digital fraud poses a significant risk to both corporate and personal wealth. Investing in advanced cybersecurity infrastructure, implementing stringent data protection protocols, and educating your teams on best practices are non-negotiable. Safeguarding intellectual property, financial records, and proprietary information is as critical as protecting physical assets, forming an invisible yet indispensable layer of your future-proofing strategy. Finally, true future-proofing extends beyond your lifetime, encompassing the meticulous planning for generational wealth transfer and legacy building. This involves crafting sophisticated estate plans, establishing family governance structures, and instituting philanthropic foundations that reflect your values and perpetuate your vision. The goal is to ensure that the wealth you've meticulously built not only endures but continues to grow and make a meaningful impact for generations to come, creating a lasting testament to your financial acumen and foresight. Embracing a mindset of perpetual evolution is the ultimate catalyst for staying ahead of the curve. This isn't a one-time project to be completed and filed away. It's an ongoing, iterative process that demands constant vigilance, intellectual curiosity, and an unwavering willingness to adapt. The leaders who will truly master wealth creation in the decades to come are those who view change not as an obstacle, but as an endless wellspring of opportunity, continually refining their strategies and reinventing their approaches to secure a prosperous and enduring financial future.